Okay, where's my camera? There it is. It's looking great. All right.
New emoji.
Emojis. Let's throw emojis. Candy canes. Oh man, candy
They're great.
canes. These are great. All right, so this is Shane Emerst here, and I'm here with Psych. Psych is
Hello.
a graduate student who's working on. Finish your introduction. I didn't actually ask you.
Uh, clinical. Yeah, I'm studying clinical psychology. Getting my PhD, and then I also founded a company as well to treat mental health with virtual reality and stuff.
Psych does a lot more than I thought he did, so that's good.
So I've been a little busy. Yeah,
So,
but
so,
it's nice to be back in VRChat.
yeah, welcome back. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of new emojis, and we have a new
Yes.
a new system for showing people how performant their avatars are. And
Yes.
I was thinking about having a little conversation about the social and psychological effects of of how this system works and what people should think of when they're developing social VR to to what maximize somebody's comfort while also trying to direct them in a certain way of what they want somebody to do, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go over it real quick first. So let me turn off the camera so people can actually see what we're doing here. And I think this is working correctly. Let me just check real quick. Can I see it? I can see it. Okay. So when you pull up your menu, you see a new
Be
little,
shamed publicly.
yep, be shamed publicly, Psych. You're going to see a little dot above Psych's head here, and it's orange. And if we go into
No.
his avatar stats here, we learn that his overall performance is medium with three
Oh, I'm
skinned meshes.
mediocre.
Yep, not good enough. I mean, though you're under 20,000 polygons, good job on that. They just raised that, so now you can be 70,000.
Okay.
You'll have to
Yeah.
bring in an enhanced avatar of yourself. Uh, Skin meshes of 3, and they say 1 would bring you up a level to probably good. And it gives you all these other cool little informations like no cloths and stuff like that. But on mine, if you could see mine, you can't, but if you could see mine, if you go to avatar stats on your side, you'll see
It's
that my
red.
performance is
No, I'm kidding.
my performance is quote unquote
It's
good.
perfect.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
And there's no major issues that I can see on this. You can see the darker stuff might mean that you could enhance them a little bit, but so there's what, one, two, three, four, five different ratings, and they go from like fantastic to good to okay, which I think is medium, to poor to bad. And bad is this red
Or
one, yeah, red one with a exclamation point, and poor is the same as the good except it's red instead of green. So
hmm.
that's the whole story. Let me bring the camera back up. There we go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what does it mean?
Well, clearly they thought a lot about this. I mean, I think you asked before about like thinking about all the implications, and I think VR Chat's one of the good developers are the team and stuff are really thinking about these things quite a bit because and I've learned since being around VR Chat since almost the beginning of it, like any update that comes, people are unhappy no matter what update is pushed. So it's almost impossible to make to do that. But at the same time, every update that happens that affects social interaction is a kind of uh, cultural influence over VRChat, and it's kind of like a big experiment of a bunch of people and communities and all that stuff. So that another question is like, whatever VRChat chose to implement, what are the implications and how might it affect like interactions and all that kind of stuff? Um, and Yeah, so I think I'm a little worried that like when you start learning to build avatars for VRChat, I mean, the first thing, at least for me, was like, okay, how many polygons is it? I just need to get it below the polygons. All these other kind of components weren't even in my, I wasn't even thinking about them. So I think it could be kind of overwhelming as people start to experiment with building their own avatars. If the first avatar they build is so bad that everyone blocks them, then that might not be a good experience. On the other hand, who knows? I mean, maybe they won't really realize that their avatar is, maybe it only comes up in situations where the room is really not performing well or something. I mean, it's so hard to predict exactly what will happen.
Right, because the first time I created an avatar in VRChat, back in the esoteric stoic period back then, when the dinosaurs still roamed the earth, I just, I was in Unity and I was like, all right, here's a thing. It has like 10,000 polygons on it. I don't know anything else. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to tack some stuff on it and, make really shiny things on it. And then next thing you know, I'm killing like, 30 frames off of people. I had no idea. And then what's worse is I didn't know how to make it better.
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah,
think,
and it's awesome.
I don't think
Now you can.
yeah, absolutely. It took, a year and a half of learning through people who have done it before, people who, were learning with you. Like, oh, I just learned this new thing. Oh, I could use that right now.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll, like, bring me up another 5 frames. And the worry, I suppose, would be that people get like kind of like jeered at when they're like, here's my new avatar, or they're in a public world and here's my new avatar, I just made it, and everyone's like, you're killing my frames, Smalls.
Yes, and the other issue too is that there's lots of issues that can lead to a decreased frame rate. So I think another thing is false attribution and thinking that because one person in the room has an unoptimized avatar, that it's killing your frame rate when in reality it's something else. So that's another kind of issue as well. But it might just pressure everyone to just quickly update their avatars and optimize them. I don't know.
That would be the best world situation there. If people were like, hey, you have something wrong with your avatar, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean a similar thing. I mean this is a way less intense implementation of the trust bubble as well. I mean they started out, they had veteran, obviously, and then they kind of like took it away because people were freaking out that they weren't veteran and things like that. And now there's like trusted user and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, have you noticed any changes as a result of that? Do you go into public worlds much and see groups of people? Are they similar ranks? Do they all talk to each other? Is there any impact
Well,
on different
interestingly,
worlds, do you think?
I think that since we live in a world of mostly trusted users, that seems like the trusted users stick with the trusted users and stay in like private worlds more often than going into a public world and experiencing what it's like, you know, beyond that. And it
Yeah.
and for people who live in that sort of environment to see an orange name or a gray name is like, whoa, who are you and why don't I know you? And when did you show up? And, all that other stuff. But, internally, because, they're trusted users, so they hopefully
Hmm.
don't ridicule them too hard. But it's one of those like it's one of the others, right?
That's it. Well, that's interesting because my reaction whenever I see someone with a different color name tag, or especially if they're brand new, I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And I just want to like help them have a good experience of VR tag because I feel like they probably have, or maybe they haven't. I don't know. Like I feel like if as like I feel, and maybe it's different if it's one person with a big group of trusted users or something like that. But if it's just like a lot of different people, or if it's all new people. I'm really talking about all new people when you go into a completely new. Like I love going into random public worlds, just trying to talk to people, see what the feel the temperature of the psychology of VR chat. I mean that's I'm always interested in like the feel of like what's happening around here and stuff. And yeah, it's always interesting because I think I guess I don't really notice much of a difference, although some people orient towards you more or something like that because you have your trusted
Oh, interesting.
user or whatever thing.
This sounds like its own episode right here, just talking about new users and the
Yeah,
social dynamics around the trusted user. Interesting. So,
yeah,
but let's see.
yeah,
So new users can't create avatars. So no matter what, they're going to have good or better as long as VRChat optimize their avatars, right? So,
yeah.
and I believe they can start uploading avatars once they hit user. Is it or is it new user?
I have no idea.
I don't remember. It's one of those. It's either blue or green. Do you think that people will prepare them to create avatars before they get the dreaded red?
Maybe. I mean, maybe that'll be built into guides and all that kind of stuff as well, like about how to make an avatar and all that. The new ones will all say like, "Oh, you want to optimize this, this, and this." It'll call attention. I mean, I guess the best thing about it is that it's educational because it'll call attention to the exact things that need to change. Because I think a lot of people assume polygons is the biggest influence, but all this talk about dynamic bones and so it's like,
I think they
yeah.
made like dynamic bone like really strict in this version. Like,
Yeah.
what was it? I think it was like if you had over like 40, no, I think even less dynamic. If you have one dynamic bone collider, so like you have your hair or whatever like that, and it's going to floof, and you put a dynamic bone collider in your head, so the dynamic bone doesn't like go through your head.
Hmm.
Dynamic bone colliders are very expensive, and they will, I think, instantly make you poor.
Yes. Well,
So we're gonna have to teach
don't have
people.
dynamic bones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people have to teach. Yeah, don't have long hair, but we'll have to
Yes.
educate people on how to make hair in such a way where they don't go through their head.
So is this not the same as just genetically modifying the next generation of babies or whatever to make them into your image?
You look this
Like, no
way.
dynamic bones. Yeah. What's next? Yeah, but no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think it's good. I think the more information people have, I think VRChat as it scales, people are realizing, like, I mean, obviously the teams realized this a long time ago. When it used to be a smaller group, it's easy to push out on Discord a notification saying, "Hey, make sure you have, not that many dynamic bones." But now with so many users, it's almost impossible to interact with the entire community unless it's built into the actual application. So this is more like a way to teach everyone, I think, what how they need to process optimizing their avatars and all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll probably be a good influence on. And I think most people who go to avatar pedestals and stuff, it'll also create a kind of social hierarchy of the avatar rooms because the avatar rooms that have a bunch of like if someone goes into an avatar room and points at the avatars and or tries them and sees that it's all unoptimized, they're gonna be like, I don't want this. But then they're gonna try to find the avatar rooms that have optimized avatars in it and all that kind of stuff. So
Oh, interesting.
especially there'll probably be a flood of people who realize their own avatars are unoptimized, and then they'll all go and like try to find the green circle. So maybe it'll just quickly become a lot better in all the VRChat rooms. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see like, what happens.
This could be a purely beneficial thing for everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting with the avatar rooms, because I actually didn't think about that. Because, yeah, like you said, it's going to be a war of avatar rooms now, where all the avatar
Yeah.
rooms are going to be like, I'm the performant one, and you're just garbage. You should come.
Green.
Everyone should come to me.
Yeah.
I'm the green room. Come to me.
Yes. Yes.
That's fantastic.
It's,
I like this. This is great.
yeah.
There's also a new system which you might find interesting, where you can actually choose somebody's character, and if they marked their avatar
Clone
as
them.
public, yeah, you can clone them now. Can I clone you? Yes, I can. Let me do
What? Oh my god.
that. Oh, why am I so
This is the
short?
first time. Oh my god. This is the first time I've ever been cloned.
Oh my
This is so
goodness.
weird because this is like,
Now you see yourself.
wow. Oh my god.
Yes, this is going to be a very new, very strange world of VRChat. I think it'll be fun.
Yes. Clones. This is so funny. Oh my god.
All right, I think we
Weird.
tackled at least what we should tackle before release, and maybe after
Yes.
release, once we see
Twins.
what's going on with it with release and how people take it, we can open a discussion from there.
Yes.
Cool.
Also, just a note, I think my avatar is not public, so I don't know how it would be clonable.
We'll have to
So
talk
you're
about
gonna have
this.
to. Yes.
Very good.
Cool.
All right. So we're good. This is Shane Emerst here, who is currently psych, and this is psych, who is also currently psych, and we'll see you guys next time. And now I have to
Bye.
Now I get to stop the thing. Let's see if I can figure that one out. Uh,
Oh,
Stop streaming.